Hello, my lovelies. It is time for another book haul, so stay tuned. So this month I have accumulated 13 books. Not terrible. I'd say more than half of these books, actually way more than half of these books, were books that were either gifted to me or I won in a giveaway. As far as purchasing them, I only purchased 4 out of these 13. So I didn't do I didn't go crazy with buying books. So the first 2 books here, I believe, are books 1 and 2 in a series. We had our Merry Bookmas movie night, and we watched, one of the movies we watched was A Boy Called Christmas, and it was based on a book by Matt Haig, and we all absolutely loved the movie and pretty much immediately ordered the books at that point. And so I've ordered the first 2 books, and that is A Boy Called Christmas and A Girl Who Saved Christmas. And these are, I believe, middle grade. So for A Boy Called Christmas, it says, what was Santa Claus like as a kid? 11-year-old Nicholas, named Christmas, has received only one toy in his life, a doll carved out of a turnip. But he's happy with his turnip doll and the simple life he leads in a cottage with his father. When his father goes missing, Nicholas must travel to the North Pole to save him. Along the way, he befriends a surly reindeer, bests a troublesome troll, and discovers a hidden world of enchantment in the frozen village of Elfham. But the elves of Elfham have troubles of their own. Christmas spirit and goodwill are at an all-time low, and Nicholas may be the only person who can fix things, if only he can reach his father before it's too late. And I am so excited to read these books because that movie was fantastic. And I really hope that they make movies for each of these books. So these are the first 2 books that I've accumulated. Okay, next is one that I think I pre-ordered through Book Depository because I really wanted this UK edition because it was really pretty. It has it's paperback, and it has these purple sprayed edges and this foil cover, and it is You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. It says, skipping school is fun until someone gets murdered. Ivy, Mateo, and Cal used to be close, best friends back in middle school. So when Cal pulls into campus late for class and runs into Ivy and Mateo, they decide to ditch school, just like old times. But they're not the only ones skipping school that day. When the trio spot classmate Brian Boney Mahoney acting suspiciously downtown, they follow him into an empty building and straight into a murder scene. Now that their day of freedom has turned deadly, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. And Einstein's probably gonna mess up the tripod. He has a toy and he's bouncing it around. I have also since ordered all of her other books in this same edition because this one is just so pretty. Next up is a book that I am so excited to read. This is All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. And oh, this sounds so good. Looks like that. This says, the blood moon rises, the blood veil falls, the tournament begins. Every generation at the coming of the blood moon, 7 families in the remote city of Ivernath each name a champion to compete in a secret tournament to the death. The prize, exclusive control over a secret wellspring of high magic, the most powerful resource in the world, one thought long depleted. But this year, a salacious tell-all book has exposed the tournament and thrust the 7 new champions into the worldwide spotlight. The book also granted them valuable information previous champions never had, insight into the other family's strategies, secrets, and weaknesses. And most important, it gave them a choice, accept their fate or rewrite their legacy. Either way, this is a story that must be penned in blood. And it sounds so good. Very excited for this. Okay, so these next 7 books are actually books that I won from Y'all Fest a Y'all Fest giveaway, or 2 Y'all Fest giveaways. I think these top 3 were one giveaway, and then the other 4 was a different giveaway. Okay, so the first book that I won was Bookish Boyfriends Get a Clue by Tiffany Schmidt. And this is the 4th book in the Bookish Boyfriend series. I do have at least the first book on my shelves, but I don't want to pull it off right now. So I pulled it up on Goodreads to tell you about it. It says, boys are so much better in books, at least according to Mary Lee Campbell, 15, who thinks real life chivalry is dead, and there'll be nothing more romantic than having a guy woo her like the heroes in classic stories. Then she, her best friend Eliza, and her younger sister Rory transferred to Reginald R. Hero Prep, where all the boys look like they've stepped off the pages of a romance novel. Mary can hardly walk across the quad without running into someone who reminds her of Romeo. When the brooding and complicated Monroe Stratford scales Mary's trellis in an effort to make her his, she thinks she might be Juliet incarnate. But as she works her way through her literature curriculum under the guidance of an enigmatic teacher, Mary's tale begins to unfold in ways she couldn't have imagined. Mary soon realizes that only she is in charge of her story, and it's a truth universally acknowledged that first impressions can be deceiving. And I love me a bookish book, and this just sounds so cute. And I do want to like read this entire series, so I'm happy that I have this one. Next up, I have Eris Apparently by Diana Ma. And let's see. This says, behind every great family lies a great secret. There's one rule in Gemma Huang's family: never, under any circumstances, set foot in Beijing. But when Gemma, an aspiring actress, lands her first break, a lead role in an update of M. Butterfly, which just so happens to be filming in the Chinese capital, Gemma heads to LAX without looking back. It's an amazing opportunity for her burgeoning career, and she'll get to work with her idol. Of course, there's also the chance of discovering just exactly why she's been forbidden from entering the city in the first place. When Gemma arrives in Beijing, she's instantly mobbed by paparazzi at the airport. She quickly realizes she may as well be the twin of Alyssa Chow, one of the most notorious young socialites in Beijing. Thus kicks off a season of revelations and romance in which Gemma uncovers a legacy her parents have spent their lives protecting her from, one her mother would conceal at any cost. And then the last one in that giveaway was The Quantum Weirdness of the Almost Kiss. And this looks so stinking cute. Oh, hold on. What's this one look like without the dust jacket? Looks like that. Very pretty. Okay, this says, Caleb has almost kissed his best friend Evie 14 times. Here are some of his favorites. 1. We were 13 playing hide and seek with my brothers. I caged her in with my hands against the wall of our garage and probably would have done it if she hadn't ducked under my arm and run. Number 4. A year later, I held her during a panic attack until she stopped shaking and crying. I wanted to kiss every one of those tears off her face. Number 7. That winter we tumbled out of a sled. If I close my eyes, I can still see Evie laughing in the snow. Number 11. She was 16. My birthday was still a few weeks away. We spent the day at the county fair, shuddering at overfed pigs, eating funnel cakes, and quietly mocking a magic show. In some ways, you could count our ride on the Ferris wheel at twilight 7 separate times. In other theoretical universes, maybe he did kiss her. But in this world, the real world, will Caleb ever find his nerve, and will Evie decide that romance, like math, is beautiful and complicated and totally worth it? Sounds very cute. Okay, so the next 4, like I said, were a different giveaway from Y'all Fest. The first one I got was Ray Bear by Jordan Afueco. This is the paperback edition, which I entered the giveaway mostly for the other 3 books because I have already had 3 other copies of this book. I had the Ark, which I got signed by Jordan Y'all Fest before the book came out. And then I ended up with 2 finished copies from Book Boxes and now this one. I ended up getting rid of one of the finished copies from the book box, but I kept one, and then I also kept the art. Now I have the paperback. This says, what if you've sworn to protect the one you were born to destroy? Terasai has always longed for the warmth of a family. She was raised in isolation by a mysterious, often absent mother known only as the Lady. When Terasai comes of age, the Lady sends her to the capital of the global empire of Aristar to compete with other children to be chosen as one of the Crown Prince's Council of 11. If she's picked, she'll join with the other council members through the Ray, a bond deeper than blood. That closeness is irresistible to Terasai, but the Lady has other ideas, including a magical wish that Terasai is compelled to obey. Kill the Crown Prince once she gains his trust. Terasai won't stand by and become someone's pawn, but is she strong enough to choose a different path for herself? With extraordinary world building and breathtaking prose, Raybearer is the story of loyalty, fate, and the lengths we're willing to go for the ones we love. Next up is Between Perfect and Real by Ray Stovey. And let's see. This one's got like the little drama masks on it. This says, I think I want to transition, but I have to come out first. I just don't know how. Dean Foster knows he's a trans guy. He's watched enough YouTube videos and done enough questioning to be sure. But everyone at his high school thinks he's a lesbian, including his girlfriend Zoe, and his theater director, who just cast him as a non-traditional Romeo. He wonders if maybe it would be easier to wait until college to come out. But as he plays Romeo every day in rehearsals, Dean realizes he wants everyone to see him as he really is now, not just on the stage, but everywhere in his life. Dean knows what he needs to do. Can playing a role help Dean be his true self? Very cute. And then we have The Rise of Kaioshi by F.C. Yee. And this is an Avatar: The Last Airbender book. And this one looks like so. And it says, justice begins with one woman. After 9 years of desperate searching for the next Avatar, the discovery of young, charming Avatar Yoon has brought stability to the four nations. That is, until Earth Kingdom-born Kaioshi, Yoon's unassuming friend and servant, demonstrates remarkable bending during a mission to the South Pole. With the identity of the true Avatar at stake and the growing unrest among her allies turning into violence, Kaioshi is forced to flee the Avatar mansion with her fiery friend Ranji, taking little more than the Metal War fans and headdress her parents left behind. It isn't easy finding Avatar training on the run, but Kaioshi and Ranji find unlikely supporters in the Dofei, ragtag criminals and outlaws living in the shadows of the Earth Kingdom. Torn between following the traditional path of an Avatar and seeking vengeance for those she has lost, Kaioshi struggles to accept her newfound power as she trains in secret. But while Kaioshi, Ranji, and her Dofei friends face off against brutal underworld rivals, those who seek to control the Avatar draw ever closer to her, leaving trails of the dead in their wake. The story behind the longest living Avatar in the history of this beloved world, The Rise of Kaioshi, maps Kaioshi's journey from a girl of humble origins to the merciless pursuer of justice, still feared and admired centuries after becoming the Avatar. And then this one is probably the strangest of them all. It is called Jelly by Claire Reese. It's got some fish on it. This says, the biggest problem with being trapped on a killer jellyfish isn't what you'd expect. You get over the fear of death because you start looking forward to it, and the smell of fish because it quickly becomes your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Boredom is an issue, sure, but it's not the main one. The biggest problem is not being able to get away from everyone. Martha has been stuck on the back of the jellyfish for a long time. She and everyone else living there don't know how exactly they got there, or how long they've been there, or where they're going. They just remember that something traumatic happened, and they can't escape. But now the crew has finally had enough. They're going to escape the jellyfish or die trying, which, let's be real, probably means they're going to die. I have no idea what's going on. What? Yeah. If you look, this is like a giant jellyfish and there are some people on top, like 5 people on top of it. Let me see. This is what the cover looks like. And there's the people on top. Yeah. All right. Next up is a book that I got sent because I won a wish list giveaway, and so they just picked something off of my wish list, and they picked The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. Oh, and this was Jacqueline Wheeler, the giveaway that she was doing, and I will link her channel down below. And again, thank you for picking me. Okay, sorry if there is an angle change, but I had to change my battery out. Okay, so this says, when a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories on love into chaos. As a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what's got her into this situation. Convincing Anna that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding six-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. And I have heard nothing but amazing things, so I'm so excited to have this. And last but certainly not least, this book was kindly gifted to me by Caitlin, and she sent me The Cursed Carnival and Other Calamities by several authors, including Rick Riordan, and thank you so much for Caitlin for sending this to me. This one has like a RR imprinted on it. This says, if you could travel to an alternate universe, where would you go? To a magic bazaar where everyday errands turn into life-threatening quests? A tropical island cave that may be inhabited by a monster? A space academy where the systems are mysteriously malfunctioning? Or would you rather meet Gum Baby, a chupacabra puppy, a puny demon? Maybe you'd prefer to go to a cursed powwow or a haunted carnival. How about traversing ancient Ireland with a young outlaw? You can do all the above by reading the myth-based short stories in this collection. All but one of the heroes has previously starred in a popular Own Voices book from Rick Riordan Presents. You'll be reunited with Sal and Gabby, Aru Shaw, Zane Obispo, Min and the Fox Spirit, Tristan Strong's friends, Nizoni Bajay, Paulo Santiago, Sikander Aziz, and Riley O. Who's the new hero? Read Rick Riordan's short story to find out. 10 best-selling and award-winning middle-grade authors representing various cultures from around the world contributed to this anthology. Carlos Hernandez, Rashani Chashki, J.C. Cervantes, Yoon Ha Lee, Kamwe Mbalia, Rebecca Rowanhorse, Taylor K. Miha, Sarwat Chada, Gracie Kim, and Rick Riordan, who also served as the editor. There's something for everyone in this treasure chest of fast-paced and funny adventure stories that show what it takes to be a hero in any time, setting, or universe. And I am so excited to have this too, because I've really been enjoying reading all of Rick Riordan's works, and I've also enjoyed several of these other authors as well with their middle grade books. So thank you again, Caitlin, so much for sending this to me. So these are all 13 books that I accumulated this month. Have you read any of them? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!